I'm Paul Wallin, Senior Partner at Wallin Klarich, and this week we're going to be talking about what do you do when a loved one's been arrested? Do you let them sit in jail? Do you bail them out? It's always a dilemma because family members of those that are in jail, and of course the one that is in jail, wants out of jail, because jail is a very bad place to be. Sometimes bad things happen in jail, and basically you don't have many freedoms in jail. So when we get a call when someone has first been arrested, one of the most valuable things we can do for a potential client and his family is talk to them about whether they should or should not bail their loved one out of jail. And if we decide it's in their best interest to bail that person out of jail, then we have to educate them on how bail works. So that's what I intend to do today. Educate you on how bail works. In California, there is a raging debate going on right now about should the bail laws be changed. That is because, in general, the bail system in California is very unfair to poorer people. Of course, that is because poorer people sit in jail even when their bail is as low as $10,000 because they often can't afford it. And the legislature in California is passing bills that have not been signed by the governor to try to change the bail system. And while there's tremendous pressure on the governor to sign that law, he has not done so. So for the time being, the system is what it is. So there are three ways to post bail in California. The first way, if you are a rich person, and I hope I'm speaking to a lot of rich people, if you are a rich person and the bail is $50,000, you can take a certified check to the jail, or your lawyer can, give it to the jail people, and within 4 to 10 hours, your loved one will be released from custody. What does that cost you? It costs you nothing but the interest that you're losing in the bank, which is pretty much nothing these days. What is the risk you run? The risk is a big one, because if the person you bailed out of jail does not show up in court, the judge can revoke the bail. And then you have 6 months to get that loved one that did not come to court back in court, because with 6 months and 1 day later, you will forfeit $50,000, and you will never see that money again. So that's why cash bail, while it saves you money in bail bond fees, is risky if you think there's much of a chance of your loved one not showing up in court. In 90 to 95% of cases, people do not post cash bail. They use a bondsman, a bail bondsman. And people often are completely confused about how that works. So I'm going to make it very simple for you. If a person's bail is $10,000, the bondsman will normally charge 10%. That is $1,000 you pay the bondsman, you never see that money again, and the bondsman will often want some kind of collateral, a watch, a pink slip to your car, sometimes a deed to a house, and if bondsman has that, they post the bail. You lost $1,000, you're not going to see that, and if your loved one runs, the bondsman must get them back to the court within 180 days, or they lose $10,000. But you are still not off the hook, because the bondsman will then come after you and the collateral they hold to get their $10,000 back. So that's how bail works in general. But as you see, if your loved one is accused of a serious crime like murder or robbery, the bail is going to be more like $250,000 or $1 million. So now the fee to the bondsman is very high. So for a $250,000 bail, the bondsman fee for taking the risk of bailing your loved one out is $25,000. That is why in any serious case of a felony, it is never a wise decision to bail your loved one out of jail. The first thing you should do is hire a law firm like Wallin Klarich, because we have to decide whether or not you'll be wasting your money to bail the person out. at $25,000 fee to the bondsman? Or can we go to court and get that bail lowered? And that could save you a fortune in money. Another reason you want to go to a lawyer like Wallin and Klarich first is because we can get you lower bail. It's called attorney-referred bail. We can get you normally 8% bail with a bondsman by law, which would save you $5,000 in bail fees if the bail is $250,000. And if you can pay cash, sometimes it can go down to 7%. You'd save even more money. So going to a lawyer first can save you in bail fees. But more importantly, we may tell you that it is not a wise decision to bail your loved one out at this time. Why? Because he's going to be going to court in a couple days. And if you bail him out, the court date will be put off. You've paid the bondsman those huge fees, and when you go to court, the district attorney may ask for the bail to be raised. And if the judge agrees, that money you paid to the bondsman is gone. And now you're going to have to post a new bail, an even higher bail, and now you may not have the money. So unless you are a criminal defense attorney, you need to go to a criminal defense attorney like Wallin and Klarich so we can guide you as to whether or not it's a smart decision or not a smart decision to bail him out. More often than not, we'll recommend when the bail is high, let us go to court, let us learn all about the good things that the defendant has done in his life, that he has local contacts, hopefully he has a job, maybe he has a home, maybe he has kids, hopefully he has no criminal record. If we can put together a good package, we can try to convince the judge that he's not a risk to run because of his local contacts. If you follow our advice and he's released on lower bail, that could be all the legal fees that you saved in bail bond fees. So the strategy of whether or not you should bail your loved one out is extremely important. Once you pay a bail bondsman money, it is something you're never going to get back, ever. So you need to think about that. But another thing you need to think about, of course, is, do I think my loved one is going to show up? Because the one thing we know as criminal defense attorneys is that the family of the accused knows the accused better than anyone else. So when we ask you, do you think he's likely to run? It would be a smart decision to tell us the truth. Because just like when you go to a doctor, if you don't tell the doctor the truth about your past medical things, he can't give you a proper diagnosis. The same thing with us. If you believe in your heart that your loved one's likely to run, then we need to know that in terms of trying to get the bail as low as possible so you don't lose as much money in bail fees if you're right. What we have found, though, in the almost 36 years we've been practicing as a law firm, that an extremely low percentage of our clients who bail out of jail do not run. And why do I think that is? I think because basically they put their faith in our law firm to get them a very good result. I think they do not want to cheat their family out of bail fees, or maybe that their mom or dad might lose their house now because they run and the bondsman takes the house away. And in a sort of humorous way, I think one reason that people who are accused of a crime don't run is because there are so many of those bounty hunter shows on TV with those huge guys with guns and dogs that come after you if you avoid bail. So those are the different two primary ways to post bail in California. There is one other way that I'm going to briefly discuss with you that is also a way to post bail in the event that you have a lot of equity in your home, but you do not have money to pay a bail bondsman. That's called a property bond, and it's sort of simple. If the bail is $100,000 and you own a piece of property that has $200,000 or more equity, that's twice the bond, you can actually post the property with the court directly after you get an appraisal, and your loved one can come out of jail. You pay nothing to the bondsman, you pay a little to an appraiser, but if he runs, you're subject to losing up to $200,000 of your equity in your home. So that's why that's risky, especially for senior citizens who have a paid off home and don't want to lose it. I hope this has been very helpful for you, and I hope you never have to use this advice. But this video that I'm telling you about will be on the website. You'll be able to find it on YouTube. And if someone is accused of a crime, if you are too nervous to even figure it out, all you have to do is go to our law firm and call us. 877-466-5245, which stands for No Jail. Please remember, we're here to help you. I hope this is helpful for you, and I want you guys to have a great week.